Hello, my friends. And tonight it is November 9th, just a few weeks ahead of Giving Tuesday. And we here at Sanctuary are excited to bring you a vibrant and exciting way that you can possibly really leverage Giving Tuesday for your nonprofit, your church, your organization. So we're excited to be here tonight. My name is Jo Bell, and I want to say I'm hosting tonight from Sanctuary in the Woods. Cheryl and I just drove down from Michigan all the way to Texas. We've only been gone a short, oh my God, what is it, like 18 months? We left and just with
18
COVID.
months.
I know, we endured a winter in the great north. But let me tell you what, tonight before the show, we sat outside on the deck, had a little bit of wine and just listened to the crickets and the darkness and the stars and went, yeah, it's a sanctuary. We call it that for a reason. So we're happy to be here, and we have some new folks here with us tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and run you through kind of our welcome. So we want to just really truly welcome all of you that are here with us live tonight. And hopefully there'll be a few of you watching the recording, because we really think tonight we'll have some valuable information for you. We'd love it if you can to enable your video. Part of Sanctuary in the Woods and Sanctuary Online is creating community. Many of you might know that we've been building Sanctuary in the Woods down outside of Austin, Texas for some time. And when COVID hit us in March of 2020, we kind of had to regroup and say, what actually are we doing? Are we going in the right direction? But because no one could have predicted our world back then to today, we went online in May and we said it's still our goal and our mission to provide programming, be it programming about health and wellness, be it programming about social issues, be it programming about religious and spiritual issues. And even we have a great book club. We have some light events so that we try not to have too heavy a program lineup all the time. But we've had a great time. And as someone said tonight, it's our 69th show. So we want to welcome you here. Also, if you want to ensure that you're in gallery view rather than speaker view, so you can kind of feel like we're all together chatting. And if you're new with us or you don't think we have your information, we'd love it if you'd open up your chat box, type in your actual first and last name and email address if you'd like. If you'd like that, what we'll do is we'll take your email address and put you into our database. We promise no spam, we promise. We do send an email out normally once a week, which kind of lets you know what programs we have had last week, gives you the link to those programs inside our YouTube channel, because there are 1,000 things called Sanctuary something in YouTube. So that way you can find us directly. And we also let you know what's coming up. So once a week, we'll send you an email. And we're loving to communicate with you. So one of the other things that we do, if you become a fan, we've got some people who I swear have been with us all 69 sessions of Sanctuary Online. If you put your cell phone number in the chat, we'll also put that into our database. And Barb sends out this cute little reminder every Tuesday afternoon that it is in fact Tuesday. Because depending on where you are in the world, what you do in the world, and depending on how COVID was in the world, sometimes you're like, it's Tuesday, So we do that and send a nice little single text reminder. And also, just so you know, all of our most recent recordings, not only are they on our YouTube channel, but they're on our Facebook page. And I'll share a little more about that in just a minute. Anytime you'd like to contact us, you can go to our group email at talktous@sanctuaryinthewoods.com. And one of us will scoop that up and get right back with you. So a little bit of our November. Ken just finished an amazing series on human sexuality in the Bible. And it was so popular. It was actually only supposed to be a 3-part series, but because we had so many people with questions, we wanted to make sure everyone got those questions answered. We went ahead with a 4th session. Tonight is Giving Tuesday, and I've got a few slides on the rest of this. So I'm going to go ahead and just remind you that Advent starts the end of the month in November. And what we will be having is an international Advent series. But I want to remind many of you that are on the book club, we normally do our book club the last Tuesday of the month, and we're going to slide that up a tiny bit. So let me give you my slides. We just want to say thank you to Ken. My God, what an amazing series. I don't know, Jeannie, I know you and Glenda, Kay, you were there for many of those. Like I said, it was a 4-part series. And the series was on human sexuality in the Bible, not homosexuality in the Bible. And yet, because so many folks had questions, we had, I think it was session 3 dedicated to homosexuality in the Bible. The other 3 sessions were on human sexuality. And it was just wonderful. Ken had great content. And also we took questions from all the folks who came to be with us as well. And so that was wonderful. Thank you, Ken. Here, if you are a book reader, this is what we do every month. Look at these books we've gone through. Just wonderful. Cheryl hosts this. Normally, like I said, the last Tuesday of each month. Last month, we did The Dressmaker of Karkana, a story of some women in Afghanistan, a true story. That was wonderful. And then this month, my goodness, Hillary Rodham Clinton's State of Terror. It's a large book. Is that fair to say, Cheryl? Cheryl?
It's a large book, but it's very fun. I mean, it's a quick read and it's exciting and all kinds of good stuff going on. So it's very fun.
Good deal. And that book, the book conversations are always, our book conversations are always so good. People come if they didn't even read the book. Okay? They just enjoy the community. So just a reminder for those of you who are reading the book, it is not going to be the last Tuesday of the month. It's actually going to be November 23rd, the 4th Tuesday in November. And then tonight, Giving Tuesday, we'll share obviously more in just a moment. But I want to invite you to take a look at next week. Ken, I know you're there close to Barb. Steve Peters has done, I don't know, 100, 300, 1,000 videos, blogs, ever since The Eyes of Tammy Faye made him an instant superstar, and his new date, Jessica Chastain. Would you share what's going to be special about your interview with Steve next week?
Hi, everybody. Yes, Steve's been interviewed live and in media, you know, as Joby said, dozens and dozens of times, but he hasn't been interviewed yet by anybody who's known him for almost 45 years, like I have. We met Steve in Chicago in the 1970s. He became a member of the MCC church that I was pastoring there. And then Tom and I moved to LA, and then Steve moved to LA and became a member of our church there. And it was there that Steve was one of the very first people diagnosed with AIDS. Even before it was called AIDS, it was still called GRID, the gay-related immunodeficiency disease. And we're trying to verify this, but there's a real possibility that Steve is the longest living survivor of anyone who's been diagnosed with AIDS. He is a remarkable person in many ways, and he and I have been on this spiritual and friendship journey together for 45 years. So tune in next week to hear the stories that you haven't heard yet. Thanks, Joby.
Thank you so much, Ken. And Barb and Anna, it is all yours. I'm going to actually step back and let you take over from here. And as Catherine said, she knows you've got the goods, Barb. So I am excited to take notes while we listen to you and Anna share with us tonight. All yours.
Great, thanks, Joe. Well, Giving Tuesday has been happening since 2012, and it's actually global in scope. I think 75 countries now. It happens once a year, usually on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. And we kind of started out in response to some of the other days that are around the US Thanksgiving. So the big box retailers started Black Friday, and that turned into a money spending frenzy, starting at, with some of them at 2 or 3 a.m., getting people lined up to go spend their money. Well, then the small businesses said, wait a minute, what about us? Don't spend all your money at the big box stores. So then we had Small Business Saturday, and we added Cyber Monday. Well, now every Monday is Cyber Monday, along with Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we don't do that one so much anymore. But the folks that started up Giving Tuesday said, around this time of year where there's so much commercialism and so much, it's only appropriate to pause a little bit, think about the causes and the organizations that are important to us, And let's give something back to those organizations around this time of year. That's where Giving Tuesday came from. Last year in 2020, in the United States, at least 2.47 billion, that's with a B, was donated in 24 hours in the US alone. And 13% of the adult population participated by offering gifts of time, of voice, their support on social media or elsewhere. They could have given skills, goods, gifts in kind, as well as countless acts of kindness and money. So it's a big process, a big deal, and a lot of folks really enjoy participating in it. So tonight we're going to share some tips for helping organizations participate effectively and more effectively. And some of them, think of this as a cafeteria line or a buffet line. Some of these things you may nibble at and go, nah, not so much. And other things, hopefully you'll find some things that maybe you'll go back for seconds on. So Joe, why don't you fire up the PowerPoint and we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay,
we're going to start with 10. Yes?
I was just going to say the 10 things is just one of our sections actually tonight that you have ready for people, Barb. So here's the title slide for this first section.
Yep. So let's go ahead and jump right in and start counting down the list. And these are in not any particular sequence. So don't feel like you have to do number 1 first and number 10 10th. So let's go ahead and pop number 1 up there. The first thing is it's really helpful to announce your intention to participate. Send it out in your emails if you've got an email list going out the way we do to supporters. The reason you do that is that it helps people plan. It allows them to be on the lookout for your posts on Giving Tuesday, and it helps you cut through the clutter of all of the organizations that are going to be posting on that day. You know, there are 1.5 million nonprofit organizations in the United States and 85,000 registered charities in Canada. So not all of them participate in Giving Tuesday. It only feels like that when you're looking at your Facebook feed. So number 2, the second thing is.
You're so right, Barb. I just want to say that it's like when someone's trying to collect money from you. Everyone's trying to collect money from you. So Giving Tuesday. Yeah, how do I stand out ahead of time? Let them plan on meeting with us. That's a great one.
Right. So the second thing is just simply decide how the funds are going to be used. Have a purpose in mind. The most compelling campaigns have a specific objective for the funds rather than just simply asking people to donate money. Number 3, write a brief thank you statement. Include not only your Giving Tuesday folks from last year, but anybody that maybe didn't give on Giving Tuesday last year, but has supported you this year. Tell them how great they are and mention specific ways that their donation made a difference. Back up one more, Joe, we're still on 3. Last year, the theme was don't just make a donation, make a difference. And I actually think that should be, I love that so much. I almost think that should be the theme every year because it's really true. Thank them, tell them that they make a difference. It's not just a donation. They are changing the world by participating and helping the organizations that they support. So now number 4, invite people to participate. Now that may sound like number 1, and it could be. You could pair them together. You could send out a post that says, hey, we're doing this, save the date. And oh, by the way, you're invited to participate, but specifically invite them. You could do it, together with your announcement, or you could do it separately. Send your announcement out, and then, a week later, follow it up and remind people, maybe they missed it the first time, remind them that you're going to participate and invite them specifically to participate. And be sure and tell them, when you do invite them, be sure and tell them how to give. Where are they going to be able to give money? Are you going to receive funds on your website? Are you going to receive funds through Facebook, through PayPal? What are the places? Don't overwhelm them with possibilities, but definitely let them know places where they're going to be able to give. Okay, number 5, recruit 3 people to repost your campaign posts. or share on their story about why they give. Maybe they'll include a photo or video, or maybe they'll just simply repost and let it stay at that. But doing that amplifies the message. And by the way, it doesn't have to be 3. It could be 2, it could be 4, right? But the key point is to engage and involve others. And we'll talk more about engaging others in the next section as well. So let's go ahead to the next slide and look at number 6. Write a social media post describing how the funds will be used. So in number 2, you decided, but now you need to tell people. Let donors know what cool project or what urgent need their donation will be supporting. Number 7, write a social media post or several, sharing your organization's most exciting accomplishments this year. It will inspire past donors and potential donors as well. And then number 8, write 10 social media posts. And again, this is not, literalism. Maybe 6 and 7 count as 2 of your 10. But the basic idea is write the posts and have them ready to go so that you can post every couple of hours on Giving Tuesday itself. So what happens is that people's feeds fill up pretty quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is one of the ones that
Joe?
we really learned going on, right? Was if you don't have these things ready, so the Giving Tuesday by itself is so busy and so exhausting. And you want to go out and thank people, and you could have hundreds of people, giving something as much as $20 or 200 or 400, and you're trying to keep your totals. And there's so much going on that day that I think, Barb, this number 8 was one of those brilliant pieces to have them ready. And then if you post every couple hours, you're, like you said, you're not missing anybody because you've got so many options for them to see something scroll by. So I think number 8 is worth $1 million, Barb.
Yeah. Well,
Or at least maybe a
those
couple thousand.
those posts do go by. Yeah, right. Yeah, and they do go fast pretty quickly. And for folks that have multitudes of friends, your post is going to be way down their list in not too much time. So another little tip and trick is now with any post that you put up now, encourage people to like or comment on your posts before we get to Giving Tuesday. So what happens is that the algorithms take a look at people or organizations or posts that you interact with. So it looks at me and it says, whose posts do you like or comment on? And when those people post again, it brings them closer to the top of the feed. So if you encourage people now to comment on your posts, this is engagement with them, get them to, and it's the season of gratitude. There's a lot of posts being posted now about Thanksgiving and gratitude. So just post something simple that says, hey, just tell me on the, in one sentence on the comments here, just name one thing that you're grateful for. And that gets people commenting and engaging and liking your posts. And then they can, they'll stand a better chance of seeing the posts on Giving Tuesday if it's something that they're interacting with. So that's a good little trick as well. If you are sending out something like Constant Contact or another form of that email newsletter, you may want to recap what you're going to do on Giving Tuesday, just to send it out to your most core adherents and supporters, so they get to see everything that you're doing. They will not have to go out of their way to look for it if they're wanting to find something on Giving Tuesday. Make it easy for them. Put it in their hands. They'll feel also more engaged, that they're in the know of what's going to happen, even if they wait until Giving Tuesday to give. So keep it simple when you're making those posts. One main message, not same words, but same overarching theme. Don't give people 10 separate themes to try and sort out. If your theme is something like, we are a bright spot of love in an ocean of need or something like that, then, you know, you say that in every post. And then here's one of the ways we have been a bright spot of love this year. Here's another way we've been a bright spot of love this year. So you kind of tie everything in with a theme and make it all fit together instead of giving them 10 different things, you know, to think about. All right.
Next one,
Well,
Barb?
that's kind of enough about that for now. For now, we're going to come back and talk a lot more about writing those social media posts when we introduce Anna in a little bit. So let's go on to number 9. The next thing is get all of your tech details teed up, ironed out, updated, and ready to go ahead of time. If you're going to update your website, you know, do that ahead of time. If you're going to use a separate photo on your Facebook page or something like that, figure out those things out ahead of time, get them all ready to go, make sure everything's there and easy to access. Are you going to include links in emails, links to PayPal or to another form of giving? And, you know, if you are you going to track it separately? Do you want to know what's coming in for Giving Tuesday? Maybe you need to add an option to your giving menu or something. All of that stuff, think it through ahead of time, get everything teed up and ready to go so that you're not trying to sort it out while you're posting 10 different things on Facebook on Giving Tuesday.
I'm saying it
And
again,
then
Barb. That one's worth money. That's worth
well, the
money.
last thing you want to have happen is you know, is start getting emails or text messages saying, hey, I'm trying to give you money, but your link isn't working.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
That's not good.
Man, or they get to your website finally, and maybe it's the first time they were there. You want to make it really easy, like front page, move those buttons up, right? And then if they start to scroll through, man, it's good if everything's up to date. So again, Barb, that one's worth goodness. You're on fire tonight, girlfriend.
Right. So, all right. The other thing, if you do send out an email with kind of a recap of the campaign for your core donors, make sure that all of your donate buttons and all of your options are included in that email. Some folks aren't going to want to wait. They're going to see this stuff and they're going to go, that's great. I'm going to be busy on Tuesday. Click, let me donate now. So you want to make sure that stuff, the links are available and everything's working before you send that out to, you know, to your whole database.
Yeah.
And you can link it in with something fun like, you know, gee, you know, now that you've read all this and you're excited, if you can't wait until Giving Tuesday, here's the link so you can give right now. So, make it a little fun. And then finally, number 10, right before Giving Tuesday, just do one more tech check. Make sure all the links, everything's running smoothly and everything is teed up and ready to go. All right, so I don't see what the comments are, but I see that the chat box is pretty active. So what questions? Anybody have thoughts or questions that they want to share? Comments?
Yeah, thoughts, questions, or even if someone else has a top 10 that maybe for some, I don't know, Barb, how you'd miss anything. But if anybody else has something else, a suggestion around that, we're happy to share with each other. Edie.
I haven't formulated a cogent question yet, but it kind of came up today. You know, my daughter thinks Facebook is so old people. And so I guess the question is audience analysis. Like if you're, you know, do you have a demographic that's more likely to be on Facebook or more likely to be on Insta or more likely to be on Snap or more likely to take emails or I guess, where do you think about that in your planning, especially when you're making sure your technology works and all that?
That's a great question, Edie. It really is a great question. And And I'm an old people, so I kind of think Facebook first. But
Old people.
that's the, yeah. But, hopefully you'll know your community well enough. And, how do you normally communicate with them? Do you normally communicate on Instagram? If so, then don't worry so much about Facebook, but, tailor it to Instagram and use email as a backup support or something like that. But your community, do the things that you normally do. But think also outside the box. Again, if they're going to amplify the message, how are the ways where they're going to be able to share and amplify the message to their circles, so that so that you can begin to tap into or introduce yourself to people that may not know you as well right now. So it's kind of
I think another one,
a two-pronged approach.
Yeah, and so much now Instagram and Facebook have connected themselves where you can create a post or a Canva or a photograph or something and put it, and it will actually ask you if you want this to post on both, or your stories, which again is another way where a lot of folks scroll through stories where they're not going to scroll through a Facebook page. So making sure, I think this is great, Barb, when you're using whatever media form, obviously Facebook just is the monster, it's like Bitcoin, right? Everything, there's other coins too. And you've still got to go and Facebook actually, I'm trying to think, Barb, did Facebook create Giving Tuesday, or is it just a crazy supporter of Giving Tuesday?
It's a delivery channel.
Yeah. And they do a lot.
They didn't create it, but they are
to support.
Facebook typically does a match. They'll put up so much money, and the first how many ever donations they'll match dollar for dollar. I've never seen anybody personally that I know that has gotten a donation in time to be able to take advantage of any of those dollars.
And the fun thing,
if you run across anybody, any regular person, let me know, please.
No, those
dollars go really fast.
Yeah, they go in like the first 18 seconds. And the fun thing though, I mean, don't tell anybody, but we still use that to try and create a sense of urgency for, when the funnel starts open at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, we get more in that first hour or so. If you're telling people, if you post 8 o'clock, we're going to get that match. Granted, if you're a person who's done this before, you are not going to see a dime in match. I don't know. They have to use crazy technology to do whatever they do in those first few seconds when $7 million in matched funds are gone. But it's still fun to use that, right, in the media and the marketing to drive folks to hit the button at 8 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday and start rolling,
And you can always hope.
Cheryl, of course. Oh, all right. Hey, my friends, Barb, I want you to jump on the next section here. But if friends, if you've got a question, go ahead and put those in the chat. If you put the questions in the chat, I can gather those during the next segment, and then we can roll those over to Barb between segments.
Sounds good. Okay. So did anybody ever have anyone say to you that, all you do is ask for money, or they tell you that they're all tapped out, and then in the next breath they say, oh, I just gave this money to some other organization. Anybody ever have any of that? These are symptoms of donor fatigue. So if you're seeing anything like that or hearing anything like that, let's take a look at some strategies to deal with that. Go ahead and tee the slides back up for a second, Joe, please. Thank you.
I'm having a while. It's challenging to get used to the pace of the internet at Sanctuary, Barb. I'm used to actually having real internet in Michigan. So I do something 5 minutes ago and it clicks on. So I'm having to learn to be a little more zen about how fast electronic things happen in the woods.
Well, to quote Wayne Gretzky, skate to where the puck is going, right?
I have to do that.
All right. So let's go ahead. One more. The booklet that you see here, Complete Guide for Nonprofits, this is last year's version, but they are available, and at the end, we'll take you right to the givingtuesday.org website so you can see where these kinds of resources are. But this is a terrific guide that is free, and you can just download it and use it to to help, with, all kinds of tips in there. But one of the things that they've done is directly address donor fatigue. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that they have pulled together. They have done some research on this issue, and their data shows that donor fatigue is less about how many times you ask for money and more about your relationship and opportunities for engagement with you, and building that kind of trust and donor relationship and support. So that's a key thing to understand, is it's about relationship. So go ahead, next. Their research shows that donor fatigue is a function of the quality of relationship, and it works best, the relationship does, when it's experiential rather than transactional. Now, what does that mean? Experiential involves engagement with folks. It involves an ongoing relationship. It's also called relationship communication, or in the corporate world, relationship marketing. Transactional means sending out a message or putting a post with a link in it and saying, "It's Giving Tuesday, please give me money." One is about what your relationship is like with them all year round, and the second one is only about you getting success on that one day or that one transaction. So people want multiple ways to show support for the causes they care about. So providing multiple touch points, multiple messages, and multiple opportunities helps make you relevant and inspiring, and talking about that in your communications with them helps make it be experiential and relational rather than transactional. Go ahead, one more. Okay, here, so engaging with donors, this is basically what we've just talked about. Tell them what a difference their contributions, give them opportunities for multiple touch points, and thank them for their generosity. But I want to just go through some examples of the first one, ways to engage to help make it relational. Somebody, when we were chatting ahead of time, mentioned food pantry. Sometimes people use Facebook to raise money or develop support for a food pantry. One of the things you could do to help that be more relational and experiential is have an open house for the program. So people, if it's part of the church, people may come to church, they may see it as a line item on the budget, they may know, intellectually that there's a food pantry, but maybe they've never actually worked in it or been there to see people get food or helped with it. So have an open house, give them a little tour of the pantry, put up poster boards that summarize how many people you've fed, what the process is, where's the food come from, all of those kinds of things. Put up balloons and give them coffee and cookies, and help them feel like they're more a part of the process. For churches, maybe you could do something like invite community partners in to recognize them during the worship service, or during, if you're having another gathering for whatever that's appropriate for that. Inviting community partners, let folks see the church as part of the community, and the community is able to express the value to the church community. The community partners are able to express the value that they place on the church. So that's relationship. It's engaging. It's helping people feel more aware and more of an experiential result rather than just hearing about it in a newsletter or reading about it in the budget. So the other thing, just simple, if you have a little money to spend, you can do t-shirts, coffee mugs, keychains, any kind of giveaway or anything like that to help folks. It's a tangible, experiential kind of thing. So those are just a few examples. Now I want to ask if anybody has any thoughts to share, anything that you can think of that, in terms of ways to create that engagement, anything that you've done that's worked that you want to share a little bit of.
Joe or Barbara, Sanctuary have a Pinterest presence. I recently did a workshop that Pinterest is one of the hidden gems. Billions of people search Pinterest. And because Sanctuary is a common name, but because what you do is unique and has lots of benefits to programming and all sorts of things, it might be an avenue to explore. Even if you just click on Pinterest and put in Sanctuary and see what comes up. I did it when I launched my podcast, and I was truly shocked at the amount of traffic that Pinterest generated for each of the recordings that I was doing. So I would encourage you to use to find a way to use it, and it's not that difficult to set it up. And you all have boards and everything. Well, it just opened my eyes. It's even more used than Facebook.
You know what, Jane, we're gonna
More searched than Facebook.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I will reach out to you, because again, it's just like when you say there's so many sanctuaries, it makes me think that somebody might be looking for one thing and find us, right, and just trip over us that way.
Yes.
And
yes.
A donation is a donation is a donation, or just
and then
the person getting to know us. Yeah.
But they click on visit, like say they stumble on you the way they stumbled on jam sessions. A lot of people thought it was related to music, but in actual fact, it was dedicated to one of my clients who said it was easier to go to a jam session, which happens to be my initial, than it was to say I'm taking my lunch hour to go to therapy. So when they click on visit, up would come the rock and the property and the retreats and the programming and the online. And so I would highly encourage you, because from 1 or 2 clicks off of when I would record one and send it out, it went from, it was 150% increase in the number of people listening to it.
Wow.
Not only based on the topic, but just on the picture, which happened to be a bridge over troubled water, which could be music, but it's not, it's therapy. So I'll send you the slides. I can send the slides to you if you want from the workshop. I didn't.
Perfect. Why don't you do that? Why don't you send them and Joe and I will reach out to you? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Anyway, Pinterest is a hidden gem. It's a hidden gem.
Fabulous.
And it's worth millions.
Excellent. Good tip. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane Ann.
Cool. All right. So basically,
I'll drink to that.
The key takeaway with thinking about donor fatigue is that you actually overcome donor fatigue throughout the year. Every opportunity you have to build bridges and to build a relational relationship with folks, not just on Giving Tuesday. By Giving Tuesday, it's too late to build that relationship. That needs to happen all year round. So, great. Now we're going to
Barb, there's one more comment from Catherine.
Yep.
Barb, there's one more comment in the chat from Catherine. I'm not sure if you're going to touch on this later, but I think you mentioned this for us last year. Catherine said, I know that you helped us with a photo thing we did a few years ago, Barb. People held up signs with Giving Tuesday and I give because, and they filled in the why. Is that later on in this presentation?
I talked about that last year, so I didn't really put it in much this year, but what Catherine, what you're talking about is what Giving Tuesday calls unselfie, hashtag unselfie. The idea of, unselfish, giving kind of thing to tie in that way. And they have a little background that has the Giving Tuesday logo information on it, and then white space that you can write in there, literally just with a marker, I give because, and some brief reason, and you take a selfie with it and then post it. And that helps support the organization and amplifies the message, and gives folks an opportunity for additional engagement. So it's a good process and a good way to do that.
Thanks, Barb, and thanks,
Okay,
Catherine. Catherine's saying
So
that
we're
was
going to
really
talk now.
successful in her campaign last year, Barb.
Great.
Yep, all
Good
good.
deal.
Next.
Okay, so we're good. Yeah. So some of the from some of the previous things that we've talked about, you see how important social media in its various forms is to the Giving Tuesday presence. And so we're going to talk now about effective social media posts. The idea being, here, not only creating interest and getting people to see them, but you want them to like and share, but ultimately you want them to click on the PayPal or Donate Now button. And so we have some thoughts about how to create interest and how to do that so that you can move them from like and share to click and donate. And I want to introduce to you Anna Casal, who's a nonprofit organizer and has started up a nonprofit. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Anna, and has recently joined us in the sanctuary community. So we're thrilled that she's said yes to sharing some of her expertise with us. She's originally from West Virginia, where she worked in college access for 18 years and then moved to the Dominican Republic in 2018. And started up a nonprofit that organizes small groups, and they help with funding tuition for English as a second language in the DR. Anna was introduced to something called Codebreaker technology and is now a coach for that technology and is excited to share this tool with us tonight. And, this is going to be a quick whirlwind tour. It's going to be 6 inches wide and an inch deep. Want the inch wide and mile deep version of it. We'll have to get you back in touch with Anna later. But for right now, we want to welcome Anna and look forward to hearing what you tell us about how to create more engaging social media posts.
Thank you, Barb, and thank you, Joby, for having me. I am hoping that my internet stays stable. I am actually traveling in the Dominican Republic and it keeps coming up unstable. So I'm going to try to get through this. I could talk for hours and hours and hours. Right to it with you guys. This program came to me really more for sales. And at first I didn't even think about it for my nonprofit. But really, in the grand scheme of things, with any kind of nonprofit, with any kind of church, with anything in life, one of my mentors is on here, Dr. Aaron, and everything is a sale in the reality of things. You are selling yourself, you're selling your organization, you're selling to get donations, you're selling to get volunteers, you're selling to get anyone to support your community. The part that I really liked about this when I saw it was it makes you really think about yourself in the way you speak to people, not only in conversations, but also in social media. And that was a very big aha moment for me when I was looking at the software. And this is just an extra tool that you can use to help you write your social media posts, help you do just any general communication with people. But what it does is it looks at the 4 personality types. And I'm sure most of you have done some type of personality test like DISC or True Colors, or there's a million of them out there. And most of them, they're all based on personalities. There's usually like 30 to 60 questions that people answer to find out their personality. And so what this program did that was different that I'd never saw is it does it in less than 90 seconds. That you can actually get someone's code and know what their code is. And then it looks at their buying behavior. So, I mean, it's wonderful in relationships. It's wonderful in all of those types of things as well, but to actually look at their buying behavior. And then it takes it an extra step, and they have an artificial intelligence that you can go through and you can look at your posts. You can look at your emails, you can look at your voice messages before you send them to see what code they speak to. As a nonprofit person, I am nurturing. My number one is always nurturing. A lot of nonprofit people are. Usually they're one or two, end up nurturing. And so we speak in nurturing all the time, no matter who we're talking to. So then you are taking your sales, in any kind of sale. Usually people have a rate of 50% or less of people that actually say yes. And it's because you're speaking in your first and second code. So just very quickly, I'm going to go through some of the things to think about when you're writing those social media posts that the different personalities would be interested in. So that we call bank. So the first one is blueprint. And with blueprint, they love bios and credibility. They want to know about your owners, your founders, your leaders, all of those types of things. They love those stories and showing that credibility. They're very big on the history and the reputation and your financial stability. Those are things they're going to want to know about before they give you money. They want to know that, you have that financial stability and that you have a history with your nonprofit or your church and that you have a good reputation. They want things that are low risk. They look at time, their own money. They want it to be very low risk before they commit to making a donation to something or even volunteering their time. They don't want to be stuck in something that's going to be, going on for months and months if they don't see the value in it. They also are going to look at your track record and your systems, and they love valuable written details. You can see up on the screen the values that they look at, and it's just a 1, 2, 3 step-by-step thing that you can have people pick their values in the software that I'm going to share the link for. And then you have it within 90 seconds. You know how to speak to them, you know what to do. And then, like I said, the social media posts as well. You can use the AI technology to go through. So the action people, they love awards, they love the news and media, the attention, they love everything that's fast and fun. And they want little words, lots of pictures. So when you're doing your social media posts, you want to change it up. Like, have something with a lot of pictures showing the fun, showing the excitement. They want small bites of things. Celebrity endorsements, that's huge with action. They love any kind of celebrity endorsement that you can get. And it doesn't have to be celebrity Hollywood. It could be celebrity within your community as well. They also, what else? Sorry, I've got all my notes here. Oh, and they want to make sure that this is going to make them feel good. Like they're very big on that. Well, is this going to make me feel good if I'm donating to this? Action people are going to want to know that. It's going to affect them in a positive way. You're nurturing people. They're going to want something that's adding meaning and purpose. They love the stories and testimonials. Those signs that you were talking about that other people are holding, talking about them giving, that's going to be huge. They love seeing a community, a team, people that are together. So your nurturing people are going to love that. Your nurturing people love to refer people to you. They want to help you any way they can. So those are your people that you're going to ask to invite others to your community because they already have a big community and they want to continue to do that as well. Your knowledge people, which is the fourth one, they're very big on credentials and experts. They're going to want to see case studies. They're going to want to see brochures, websites, data, research, articles, everything that you can give them. They're going to want that. So they're the thought leaders. They want to see other thought leaders talking about what makes your organization or your church special and seeing that those thought leaders are supporting you. So that's what your knowledge people are going to want to see. Very, very quickly, because there's not a lot of time, I want to just give you some buzzwords that really work well for your social media posts for each one. I'm just going to give you like 5 or 6 different ones for each. So your blueprint, they are going to want anything about predictability, stability, processes, responsibility, duty, structure, and credentials. Your action people are going to want to see lots of images. They are going to want spontaneity, any kind of opportunity, any kind of attention. They also love competition, freedom, flexibility, nurturing. They're going to want to see harmony, relationships, authenticity, teamwork, involvement, anything charity and contribution and ethics. And knowledge is going to be technology, research, learning, logic, science, intelligence, and research and development. So those are just some quick words. But the main thing that I wanted to share with you guys tonight is I'm going to put a link in the chat. If you guys want to get your own personality assessment, it is free for you to do. And let me get over there so I can drop that in for you. And that's kind of the first step, is finding out your own personality and then knowing how you probably are speaking so that you can start changing it a little bit for those other people, so that you're not taking out 50% of your donor base because you're only speaking in your two languages, your first two languages. So I'm going to share that for you guys. And if anybody wants to contact me, you want more information about this, I can definitely help with that. There is a funnel when you go in and crack your code that you can purchase a book that is $19.99, and then for $1 you can get that AI I was telling you about for 30 days for $1. So it would get you straight through everything that you need to look at during doing your posts before Giving Tuesday. And I would sit down with anybody that wants information about that and show you how to use it to make sure that you're ready to go, and we can run all of your codes through to see if it's going to work for you and that you're getting a little bit of each of the personalities in your post. So I'm definitely willing to do that for anybody that's in this group, to help you any way that I can. I'm also going to put my phone number and Facebook information. So if you have more questions about it, like I said, I went through it very quickly. Joby said that in January, if there's enough interest, that I'll come back and actually do a whole hour with everybody so that we can get that through. But we wanted to at least let you know this is out there. It's an amazing tool that can really help you look at the social media posts that you're doing. So thank you all. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, because I know that we are almost out of time and I want to make sure that we don't go over time with everyone.
Yeah, Anna, don't worry. Thank you so much, man. Give it up. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate your thoughts on this. We love, language matters, right? And I love that, one, you came on tonight to share, and that you're a nonprofit person, as so many of us here are. I also want to lift up, so Anna, when I went through the funnel myself, I went into this sales $20 thing, and you told me, quit it. Don't worry about that. Just go into my email and get my stuff. I think that if anybody is interested in calling you before Giving Tuesday, you'd be able to meet with them and maybe do a 30-minute Zoom coaching with them in a complimentary manner.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so great of you.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. And yes, like we said, folks,
Your community is my community. So anybody that would want to know more, I would love to help you with any of that and help you run, some of your posts through the AI. We can definitely talk about any of that stuff.
Oh, wow.
On a call.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm going to put my Facebook and my phone number in there as well, so that people can connect with me that way.
Perfect. You've already got one bidder, Anna. So for when your price is out there as free consulting, people are going to give you a call. So thank you again so much. And this, Anna, what you're doing is you're helping us extend, like we did this, our artists work this summer. We featured different artists every month, and they got commissioned projects. And I know Cheryl bought a gorgeous pair of earrings that, so it's the same thing. If we can cross-pollinate you, and you can cross-pollinate and help our folks, really, that's what Sanctuary Online is all about. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. And Barb, I know you have a few more things here that are some great resources going forward. So most folks, if you're okay to go another few minutes, I know it's worth it to pick up some of the stuff that Barb's going to point you to.
Just ready to wrap up. That's all. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really just the recap to kind of bring things top of mind to folks. So, keys to success. plan ahead, have a compelling campaign narrative, have a donor relationship, not a transaction, just but a relationship, an inspiring ask, and then ensuring that donors know how to give. All those things are really important. And one more ahead, Joe, we're going to go through this really quickly. The other thing is make it fun. Joe was teasing me earlier about being, a little too on the serious side. And,
It's more serious
if you're
than
like
me.
me, I'm not a brilliant copywriter. Frankly, the stuff that I write can be a little bit boring. So, there are ways to jazz it up a little bit, make it more fun, include challenges. Challenge is something like, if we get to X number of dollars, we can do this. If we get to 2X dollars, then we can do, the next stage kind of thing. Matching donations. A lot of you probably are really familiar with that. You line up a donor ahead of time and say, if we get, we have a donor that'll match dollar for dollar the first 1,000 that we raise or first 2,500 we raise, whatever it is. Seed donors. People want to contribute to success.
Yes.
So you want to get off to a fast start. Get seed donors who will jump on first thing in the morning so that, if you are on Facebook, it'll say your goal is whatever it is, $10,000. And, and even at 8 a.m, you could already be halfway there, would be fabulous. Get off to that fast start and let people help contribute to success. And then a hook, something fun. Seed donors, I skipped. We talked about that. And then a hook, something fun. That can be anything from, if we reach our goal, the pastor will do the ice bucket challenge or something like that. It could be anything just fun to get people laughing and interested and engaged. So that's just a really quick recap on where we are with that. I want to show you one more thing, one more webpage. Go to the next page. And the Giving Tuesday, if you haven't been on givingtuesday.org, Joe, go ahead and switch to the webpage.
Yep.
But they have on there all sorts of resources. They're all free. They have that planning book that I showed you earlier. If you hover over resources, the word resources in the top bar there, and maybe you have to click on it and the links will come up. But yeah, toolkits and logos. They have toolkits specifically for nonprofits. They have all sorts of logos. They have Canva backgrounds that you can use and customize. They have all kinds of things for you. And that workbook that I alluded to earlier is on here and just downloadable. And then you can use some of the worksheet planning tools if you want to for that. But that's all there and available, and it's just a treasure trove. Just go on their website and dig around and see what interesting little nuggets you can find. So that's what we have to share with you today. I appreciate everyone, all the comments and the questions and the chat, and the interest that everyone has shown. This is really great stuff. So I wish you all good luck with your planning for this year's Giving Tuesday. And if anybody's got any final questions, I'm happy to try and address them now.
Well, before we do that, can I have you please unmute yourselves and give Barb and Anna some Sanctuary Online love. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome, Anna. Awesome, Barb.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Anna.
Very
Time
helpful.
when,
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Barb.
Thank you.
yeah, in a time when a lot of folks have been impacted in their world over the last 18 months with COVID. What I have found is people still want to have that giving heart, right? They still are seeking to do good in our world. And right now, an invitation, a way that when I learned about nonprofit fundraising, it was the coolest thing to turn it around and say, people are seeking somewhere to put their money, right? So all you have to do, thank you, Anna, is write a compelling post. Thank you, Barb. Make sure that when the post says, here's my website, all the things on the website, make it easy, make it exciting. tell me what my money's going to. You know, people just want it to be easy. And Anna, I think the gorgeous thing of the bank is figuring out how do we talk to each one of those where it is action-based, it is nurturing, it is informational. So Barb, you hit all those tonight. And Anna, thank you for being a guest speaker here. We look forward to anybody reaching out to Anna. Please just crack the chat and you can grab her Facebook information. Anna, the 304 number, is that a US based phone number or is that the Dominican? It's gonna cost me like $8 million to call you.
It's still a West Virginia number and I have unlimited international calling, so no
Okay.
worries. I kept my West Virginia phone number so that
Just
people
was
can still
checking.
contact me.
One day after I talked to you for a long time, I'm thinking, I wonder if that cost me like $1 million. I wasn't sure.
It would be worth it, but no.
Well, my friends, get out there. Reverend Lawrence, Roland, Catherine. We know we've got some folks, Ginny from churches all over the place. You know what? It's so easy to have some fun, to put a committee together and really make a dent, you know? And like Barb said, I think the key is, where's that money going? Barb, that's one thing you really shifted for Sanctuary. Instead of Sanctuary in the Woods, and people have no idea, and we cut down the costs of certain things. And said $100 donation pays for 1 month of Sanctuary in the Woods or Sanctuary Online, you know, and we were able to give them a target, basically. Just so many good ideas, Barb. So thank you so much. And I hope every one of you puts them to good use. Go ahead, Barb, close it out.
Just real quick. I didn't think to send the slides out, you know, or post them or anything, but if anybody would like the slides, put that in the chat box and I can email to to the folks that are on the call, but tell me in the chat box that you'd like them and make sure I've got your email address and we'll send them out to you.
Yeah, and we'll go ahead and if you'd like them, just say slide, just put slides. We will capture the chat tonight and get those out to you in a special email, so you won't wait for that a regular weekly email. And beyond that, it is November. Be safe out there. Be thankful. Yeah, and I'm waiting for the chat box. All right, my friends. God bless. Thank you, Barb. Thank you, Anna. Thank you, everyone, for joining. And don't be shy.
Thank you, Anna.
For 30
Hi,
minutes.
thank you. Thank you, Barb.
Thanks, everybody.
Take care. Thanks,
Thank you,
Kay.
Anna.
Good night.
Right.
Good night, Edie.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
Janice.
you.
Hi.
Thanks, Shannon, for the idea for Pinterest. Never thought about that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Shannon. We're going to call you. Okay.
Yeah,
I know.
I'm just Snapchatting. I mean, snapping